Big Melly is in the building, man.
It's the biggest boss, Ricky Rose. Hit your boy up on Twitter at Ricky Rose.
What's up, y'all? My name is Weezy Out Baby.
Got your hands, everybody!
It's the Good Time Show.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake. Young Money, yeah. Young Money, yeah. Young Money, yeah.
Vibes, can you hear me? Vibes.
Hey, I'm Nicki Minaj.
Tuned in to the Good Time Show.
I ain't gonna talk to you to death, man. You know what I'm saying? This here commercial-free hip-hop and R&B. And this here the T.I. Takeover. And this here the T.I. Takeover.
I'm glad to be back, man. It's a blessing to be on the radio, be able to see y'all again, man. It's good.
Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Oh, I missed that song. Anyways, I am the Princess of All.
And I'm Jada Great.
And we are back on the Good Time Show. And it is time for Ask Jay.
Ask Jay anything. That was whack.
I was about to say, that one was creepy.
Sorry.
But, sorry. They tried. Okay, so now it is time for me to ask you your opinion and your thoughts on... I picked 2 artists this week.
Okay.
So, here we go. Okay, the first artist is going to be Big Sean.
Big Sean, boy. I do it. I actually have started to listen and dig into Big Sean. At first, I was not a huge, I didn't know much about him. Let me say that. But I can say now, I actually dig his swag, and what I mean by that is that I think he's very different and unique, and he's secure with himself, which means that he's not trying to sound like, because he's with Kanye, he's not trying to rap Kanye way. And his movement, I finally understood the what is it, Finally Famous movement. Yeah, Finally Famous. How long he's been grinding, and he's humble with it. So I think being signed to Kanye, the one thing he's going to get is passion and energy, because Kanye, no matter whether you like him or not, for the ride or the duration of Kanye's career, he's always giving us energy. He's always giving us passion. That's one thing you can give him. That boy has energy and passion
about his music,
and he speaks from the heart. Now, whether or not Jay is trying to teach him how to be a little bit more quiet and not just shoot off the cliff with his heart, because when you're passionate, you're passionate. But I think Big Sean, he's definitely going to keep energy and passion about what he's doing, but he's also humble. So I think he's good. I think he, as long as he does not try to in the next, not change, but as long as he does not try to put on all his homeboys right now, because most artists do that. Lloyd Banks tried it, Young Buck tried it. Once we feel like we have one foot in the door, we try to hurry up and start throwing our mans on our tracks. We try to start a label and we sign them, and then you start burning through the money that you're making. So right. I think if he wait to after his second album, get a couple more notches under his belt, make sure that he have 2 feet in the industry planted, whether him owning his publishing, him cutting a better distribution deal, and then start putting your artists out, then start taking them on tour and showing them the ropes of the game. But I think right now he's still catching on to a lot of the ropes and a lot of the ins and outs. So I think that if he just stay focused on him, which is going to be hard because his boys is going to be like, yo son,
put me on, son,
I was the ill one in the crew, come on man, this don't change up on us. So I think if he can just not be selfish but just stay focused on him, because he ultimately will control the future of his team. You know what I'm saying? Because if his feet is planted firmly, then his team will eventually be able to survive off the branches and build their way up, etc. So I think he got a good, healthy future if he can fight through what most artists don't fight through, and that's staying focused on him, making sure he get a couple notches under his belt, making sure that he make wise business decisions as far as locking down more publishing for him, doing some writing for other artists, putting together different deals that can make him more lucrative for when he does put his guys on, or he move with his own label, or what I'm saying. Right. I think he'll be good. But like I said, if he does not, then he's going to be the same way as any other artist that comes on, then try to put his boys on too quick, burn through their monies. Yeah, because the industry, it's a business. They don't have no loyalty. There is no love lost. It's a business. So
All about that moolah.
Yeah, so the same way, you can go back to a Ja Rule, or you can go back to a Young Buck or a Lloyd or whoever. Like, there is no love lost with labels. So it's not the fact of saying, oh, you think they'd do Big Sean like that? What?
They do anybody.
Go back 20 years. Go back 10 years. Go back 5 years. There is no love lost. So I think he's talented. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of his at first, but I started listening to his music. I started really kind of following some of his movements, watching a few things he's doing. And I like his swag. I think he's, he got a style about him that he's comfortable with. And he's from the D. So come on, man. Like, them boys, you can make it out of D. You can make it anywhere. So
salute. Okay. So Big Sean is in the green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second artist I have is Tyga.
I like Tyga. I really do.
I love me some Tyga. Okay, I honestly think that he is one of the hottest lyricists that is signed to Young Money.
See, and that's where the problem go. I remember the days of The Rock, and when I say The Rock, I mean Rockefeller. And I remember those days and being around everybody and the grind. And when The Rock got hot, everybody wanted to sign to The Rock. Now, whether or not you was a good artist or a bad artist or not, you wanted to sign to them because when you are part of a hot label, you're automatically going to get some form of recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that may not be good for you. I look at an artist like Freeway. Freeway is a very cool artist. Personally, probably one of the coolest, respectfulest guys I've met. Lyrically, Free got passion behind his music. He could spit. Rockefeller did, he dropped some hits with Rockefeller, you name it. Would it have been different if he would have went to a different label that may not have been led by Jay-Z or Dame? Now, he may not have been a part of a successful label, but he'd have been able to grow a building block.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So with Tyga, I look at him the same way. It's like you went to a label that was hot. They have so many artists over there. You're not getting the proper look, and once again, that goes back to having the correct business manager. An artist they got to stop hiring their homeboys, their cousins. These guys don't have any degrees. These guys don't understand business, endorsement, product branding. They don't understand any of that. So what they look at is like, yo, you got lyrics, you hot, we gonna get you on Young Money, and they only making moves amongst Young Money. So when you have a business manager or a manager that does not know how to outsource you, then he's getting looked over. Which if he would have been signed to, let's just say, Tyga signed to maybe Interscope directly, or he signed to a label that probably didn't have all those big artists, would he have the notoriety that he has from Young Money? Probably not. But would he be getting his just due? Yes.
Most definitely. I believe the same thing. And I mean, he's trying to, make different moves outside of Young Money. Like, he's trying to start his own kind of record label, sign people. He also has his own clothing line.
But see, you get stuck under a stigma. See, there's nothing wrong with being a shadow under someone, but you got to be comfortable with that, and everybody is in the shadow.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that if you would have put Michael Jordan on the Lakers with Magic Johnson, would Michael Jordan ever would have came out to be Michael Jordan?
Or Magic Johnson be Magic Johnson?
Because everybody doesn't, you can't like Tyga can spit. He got lyrics. Mm-hmm. So, when you go under a Young Money, you're automatically looked at as a Young Money artist. Mm-hmm. Now, a person can say, well, what's the difference with Drake? And what's the difference with Nicki Minaj? First off, Nicki Minaj is a female. And the female portion of the industry was, at a pause for a minute. It was at a standstill.
She was pretty much coming up
and
the only one.
If you notice the marketing, they really they moved her through hip hop to get the approval, but then they pushed her to pop.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, she started singing. She's doing more singing and pop songs than really rapping. So y'all got to understand, they tested her abilities through hip hop. But notice that Lady Gaga money. They noticed that pop money was where it was at. So when you look at a male artist, a hip hop artist really can't do that. A hip hop artist, you can't come out talking crazy and then think you're gonna make a pop record. That's really iffy. Now Wayne does it, but he's looked at also as a CEO. He's looked at as, and then Wayne been around since, you know, what, 98, 99? So
I think so. Like, yeah.
So I think Tyga, he's going to have to re-identify himself. I think his business managers are going to have to, you know, accept the fact that, look, Young Money was a great publicity stunt for us. Like, we signed to them. It got us great notoriety. But at this point, he's going to have to go and re-identify himself. He's going to have to surface to everybody as his own movement. You know, him and Corey Guns, you know, great talent, great artists. But Tyga, his business managers are going to need to push him in a independent direction, because they have so many artists over there. People forgot that Corey Guns is over there. People forgot Jay Mills over there.
Chanel, McMain, Lil Twist.
Yeah. So, and I'm not saying that, you know, Young Money and Cash Money is a, you know, a great movement. And like I said, Bad Boy did that at one time. Rockefeller did that at one time. Master P signed so many artists. And what happens is, you know, your talent just gets overshadowed.
Yeah,
that's
no
all.
one gets their just due, because there's so many artists to be focused on, and so many different things.
And once again, that goes back to your business manager saying, listen, do we want to sign with Young Money because they're hot right now, or should we just stay on our journey? Because if you dope, you dope. Going with Young Money might have got him noticed in 2 years or 3 years, but if you'd have went independent, you'd have got noticed in 6 years, but it'd have been your building block. It'd have been you.
All you.
So all the time taking that shortcut or taking that quick lane ain't the best lane. You see what I'm saying now? Because even though right now, like I said, people talk about Tyga, but he has to come in and say, yeah, you know, I'm on Young Money, you know, Lil Wayne, da. And that's not always good. You know what I'm saying?
We have to throw a brand in there. It's not truly all you, buddy.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
like
I'm not
saying that it's a bad thing or it's like a hiccup to him. I'm just saying that for his talent. Now, some guys need that shadow. You know, some guys may not have, you know, the best lyrical content. Yeah, so they need that shadow. They need that cosign. They need that plug put in. Like, hey, man, you know, I'm signed to such and such. Oh, really? Oh, okay. And that works for them, because they may have a lot of other things working for them. It might be fashion. It might be this. It might be that. But when you think of Tyga, I mean, he you know, he has a lot of good songs. His mixtapes do good.
I love
he got a good fan base following. You don't want his to get overshadowed by that. His should be recognized as Tyga and not as, oh, he signed to Young Money. Oh, for real? Yo, so because people don't realize how this industry works. So what they do is they go backdoor and they'll say, look, Wayne, we'll do this for Tyga, da. If you do this show for us, and then you don't want all that. You want people to say, we want Tyga because of Tyga.
Right. So not because of, I want to try and get to this person.
Yeah, so the management is going to have to work on re-identifying him now. You know, he's going to have to get out here and make some hits without Young Money. He's going to have to get out here, and because as much as people want to talk or say with Drake or whatever, count Drake hits and tell me how many songs that he had all the Young Money on there.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was quite a lot.
Right. So at the end of the day, now Drake is saying that he want to start. Drake is trying to re-identify himself. He just started the label.
Right.
So Drake came out. He had Lil Wayne on a lot of songs, Nicki Minaj on a lot of songs. He was singing. He was doing this thing. But now he's trying to re-identify himself.
And be by himself. And everyone's like, we kind of liked you better when you was with all of them.
Yes and no. But if you see, the best way I can explain this is, build your own fans, because when you a shadow off somebody else's fans, they're his fans.
Right.
So when everybody thought, you know, well, I'm under Jay-Z's label, so I'm gonna get some of Jay-Z fans. That don't always mean that.
Yeah, because when Jay-Z leaves, his fans are gonna leave with him.
Yeah, well, you got to look at how things split up. So, you know, people talk about Jay. How many people speak on Dame? People, how many people speak on Biggs? How many people speak on that whole movement? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, certain artists are able to stay out here because they established a relationship with their own fans. You know what I'm saying? Freeway will always be able to work because, you know, he established a great relationship with his fans, his core audience. But how many other artists that were signed to The Rock, and it was a lot of artists signed to The Rock, how many of them did that? How many of them signed and just felt like, I'm signed to Jay-Z, Rockefeller, I'm going to get all the Rockefeller fans? So they didn't put that push in that fight. So I feel like Tyga, sometimes when you sign to people like Lil Wayne, you get relaxed and you feel like, yo, I'm on Young Money, I'm good. And you can't do that. You got to go out and identify with your own audience. You got to get your own crowd. You got to get your own build. And I think that, you know, Drake is going to understand that now because he's starting his own label and he's doing what I said that Big Sean shouldn't do. You know, you jump out too quick and you start burning your own money. So like if you was lucky enough to make $5 million, now here you go about to start a label. So now what you finna do is you about to go invest money into a studio, invest money into your artists, wardrobe, this, that. Now you burning through the money. Now at the same time you're doing that, you're not actually working
because you're so focused on getting that up and going.
And income and no income and outgoing leaves you broke.
True.
Period. Okay? If you're spending out as much as you have coming in, it leads you to broke. So I think Tyga needs to re-identify himself to his audience and take that long journey, because you don't want to keep taking them shortcuts signing to people. You know that, like with Bow Wow. Like Bow Wow, you'd have did better starting your own label and signing artists. You've been in the game longer than most of these cats. Why would you sign to Young Money? Like, come on, like that doesn't even make sense, dude.
Hey,
you can't ask for respect.
You can't jump to another artist.
No, I'm not. I'm saying like with Tyga,
him on the screen.
I don't want Tyga. See, I don't want Tyga to do. And what I'm speaking on with Bow Wow is, you know, Tyga is looked at. You know, he's liked. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can burn yourself out to where people start looking at you as jest. No, just seeing you as jest. It's like Bow Wow. Like now, he should be highly more respected than what he is.
Well, that is true. You
see what I'm saying? And Tyga, you gotta hurry up and re-establish yourself. You gotta get up under that, get out of that shadow and say, you know what? I'm Tyga, and I'm gonna push my movement, and I don't need a brand to make me. Because when you making someone else brand you, you don't hold no power. You gotta brand yourself, and he just gotta take that long journey. And I think he tried to take a shortcut getting with Young Money, and it didn't work out for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I was trying to say. I'm not getting on Bow Wow, but I just think, you know, Bow Wow been around. He learned from the best. Snoop Dogg, Jermaine Dupri.
He's been around forever.
Yeah. So when you look at Tyga, okay, you got around Young Money. You learn what you got to learn. Now you got to go. Quit being afraid to jump out there and just say, you know what? I got to take this long haul. It might take me 4 years, 5 years, but when I get there, it's my crowd, it's my fan base, it's my money, it's my brand.
Something that I did by myself.
Bingo. Cats be afraid of that, because everybody want to be on TV so quick. So it's like, I want to be on BET, I want to be on MTV, I want to hurry up and do this. I want my. So they take them shortcuts, and them shortcuts don't last.
Kill you.
If you get it quick, it go quick. That was deep. You get it quick, it go quick. Trademark that by Teen J the Great. Do not.
If you think so. Well, like I said, that is Ask Jay. So if you guys have any questions about the music industry, entrepreneurship, starting your own business, anything, just hit me up and then I'll ask him on the segment. So we're going to jump into some 5 and 5 and then we're going to come right back. Stay tuned.